Catherine, Princess of Wales. Well, a bit of good news there, folks, today. It seems like the old cancers, they've got it under control. It's getting better. The chemo has now ended. She done a message earlier today. It was played out on the TV. I heard it earlier on the old internet. She's not out of the woods yet. I mean, to take the words from a song, it's all right, but it's okay. It's not right, but it's okay. I think that was the words. Yeah, that's irrelevant. She's getting better. She's looking dapper. She's looking fine and dandy. She's done a bit of a video with family there, with all Wills and children, and they're looking fine. It was a little bit saccharine for me, a bit saccharine, but I'm letting it go because it's okay to like her. I've told you before, I do. And it's weird that it happens today. I've got a story to tell about somebody I know. I'm not going to tell you who. I'm not going to divulge any names or anything like that. But I know a fella today that was going to the old hospital. He had an hospital appointment. All last minute stuff, been sorted out over the last 7 or 8 days. And he got a letter a few days ago. He'd been to see Quack. And the Quack says, I think we need to get you in to go and have a look at someone in the hospital there. They need to have a look at you. All right, he said. Yeah, all right. Yeah, they need to have a look at you pretty sharpish and just make sure everything's okay. Best be on the safe side. Oh, all right then, he said. He said, but first we'll do a blood test and another test. I'm not going to mention what that is. I'm not going to mention what this fella had because you probably just had your tea and I don't want you bringing it up. Boom! I don't want anyone bringing it up at all, so I'm not going to say anything, But this fella had to go to hospital today. And it's funny that happened today when Kate was, and what he'd done, his wife knew all about it, but he's got kids. He never told kids about it. So he was a bit concerned. He got a letter through about 48 hours after he'd seen doctor, and he said, your cancer appointment, the old big C, as John Wayne would say. And he thought, ooh, brought it home. He knew that's what they were looking at. But the word hadn't been mentioned at the doctor's, not been mentioned at all. And he is pretty brave, he's got a big gob and whatever else, He's normally a right grumpy bugger. Well, he's not been so grumpy since he's been more of a down in the dumps bugger because he'd feared the worst. He'd not really. He thought things would probably be okay. And it's looking like they probably are from what I can gather. Although he's not out of the woods yet, but he virtually is and things look all right. Because the doctor told him blood tests are fine and the other test you've done isn't bad at all. I think I know what the problem is, he said, but we'll have another look. We'll get him back in and have a look. Pretty sharpish just to be on the safe side. Anyway, this fella said to him, he said, well, when's it going to be? He said, only this fella said he's away for a couple of weeks in a few days' time. He said, right, when's he back? And the fella told him, and he said, right, we'll probably get him in first week back. So, first week back, I'll find out what's happened and I'll tell you. I mean, you'll know him before kids are. He's not told his kids yet, but he didn't want to tell his kids because he thought, why worry him? Until there's something to worry about, why worry him? And in the letter, it did say, for all that folk get, the invite, not that they're invites, it's not an invite you'd like, but get told to go to the old hospital, 9 times out of 10 it's nothing too bad, and it looks like it's not, as I say. But there's always that worry in the back of your mind. Luckily this fella has the strongest old man, the strongest dad I've ever come across in my life. His old man is the most, he just looks on the bright side all the time. I mean, he nearly died with COVID a year or two ago. How he's got through it, I do not know. And I think his lad's got a bit of that in him with a bit of luck. But I know what he was going to do. If he'd found it was going to be the big C, he was going to have his holiday with his partner and he was going to come home and say everything was all right and then tell her after it because there's no point worrying, no point spoiling everybody's holiday. But he was hoping not to have to do that. He was hoping things would be fine. And as far as I know, folks, things are. But he said this to me and he's asked me to share it with yourselves and he has. He'd had symptoms for about 6 weeks. And you always hear this when someone's been ill or if they get caught early and they're in remission, they're getting better. Or even if it, God forbid, kills them, they're saying, please check out, go and have a check-up early. They mention it with fellas with various parts of the nether regions, the women with the old, threatening bits and all. I shouldn't have said that really, should I? You know what I mean, I shouldn't have said that. But they always say, check early, go and check early. And people that have caught these diseases always say, I wish I'd have gone early. Well, he does. Because he'd had symptoms for about 6 weeks and he thought, things aren't quite right. And he let it go on and on and on. And I know it was only 6 weeks, but that 6 weeks could have been the difference between, had he have got it? It looks like he's not. So it looks like there's all good news there. But honestly, folks, he asked me to say this and say this in all honesty and in a sensible voice. He's not going to put on his video voice or his any other. He asked me to do it in this voice. He said, please, ladies, gents, if you've got any problems anywhere and you're not sure about anything within your body and you think, that's not as it was, go to the doctor earlier, tell them and push for a bit of satisfaction and go and get looked at early. Because early catches prevent loads and loads and loads. And the thing that you feel you may have, you've probably not got anyway. But if you have and they catch it early, there's a great chance they're going to save you. And at the end of the day, if you're like this guy, he's got a wife, he's got kids, he's got grandkids who I know he adores. He'd have been gutted to believe in him early, checking out early. So, if you've got a problem, go and get it sorted. Do not wait. And wait rhymes with Kate, and I'm glad she's doing well. Well done.